Overconfidence, without real understanding. Some people argue with absolute certainty, even when they're clearly wrong. They're loud, stubborn, and refuse to accept they don't know what they're talking about. No matter how much evidence you present, they're convinced they're right. This is the Dunning-Kruger effect, a psychological phenomenon where people with low ability overestimate their skills. It's like when you've just learned something new, but feel like you know everything about it. The more someone doesn't know, the more confident they become. Ironically, the smarter you are, the more likely you are to question your own knowledge. Smart people often doubt themselves because they understand how complex things really are. Low IQ individuals are trapped in their own false sense of competence. Black and white thinking. Everything is either completely right or completely wrong. There's no room for nuance. It's like you're either with me or against me. No shades of gray, no middle ground. They see the world in extremes. This is called cognitive rigidity, where the brain struggles with nuance or ambiguity. Low IQ individuals tend to simplify complex situations into binary choices because handling complexity is harder for them. Meanwhile, smarter people can juggle multiple perspectives, understand contradictions, and accept ambiguity. Poor emotional control. Some people get angry at the smallest things. They overreact when cut off in traffic or lose their cool over minor mistakes. They can't stop themselves from reacting. This is related to low emotional intelligence. Low IQ individuals often struggle with regulating their emotions. They act impulsively, reacting without thinking. Emotionally intelligent people, on the other hand, pause before responding. They take time to process their feelings and think before acting. The ability to control emotions, rather than let them control you, is what separates wisdom from chaos. Constantly blaming others. It's always someone else's fault. They blame a bad day on bad luck, the economy, or the person who didn't hold the door for them, but never on their own decisions or actions. This is called having an external locus of control. Low IQ individuals tend to think life happens to them, not because of them. They believe they have no power to influence outcomes and always point fingers instead of reflecting on their role. People with high IQ recognize they control their fate and are willing to learn from their mistakes. Repeating mistakes. Some people repeat the same mistakes over and over. They face consequences, get the same results, and still don't change their approach. Even clear feedback doesn't lead to adjustment. This is linked to poor feedback integration and weak cognitive flexibility. Learning requires recognizing patterns, updating strategies, and changing behavior. Low IQ individuals often stick to familiar responses, even when they don't work. Smarter individuals treat failure as data, adjust their strategy, and improve over time. Lack of curiosity. You bring up a fascinating topic, something about the universe, psychology, or an interesting piece of history. You're excited, but the other person? They give you a blank stare or say, "Why would I care about that?" They just don't get why it's important. This is an example of low need for cognition, a trait where people avoid mental effort and deep thinking. It's not that they're lazy, it's that they don't enjoy the process of learning. They're fine living in a comfort zone, dismissing anything unfamiliar. Meanwhile, intelligent minds are like sponges. They thrive on curiosity. They ask, why? How? And seek to understand the world on a deeper level. Magical thinking and superstition. Some people always carry a lucky charm before an important event, or avoid walking near a black cat. They believe these superstitions control their destiny. This is illusory pattern perception, where the brain mistakes coincidence for cause. It's a cognitive shortcut often linked to lower IQ. People with this mindset attach significance to random events because their brains are hardwired to see patterns. Smarter individuals, however, stop and ask, what's the actual evidence here? Preference for instant gratification. Some people crave something, right now. A snack, a new gadget, or a quick hit of dopamine from scrolling through social media. Patience isn't in the equation. This is poor, delayed gratification. Studies, including the famous marshmallow test, show that people who can wait for rewards tend to be more successful. Those who can control their impulses today will have a better chance at a successful future. Low IQ individuals often struggle with delaying gratification, which affects their success in school, work, and life. After looking at these habits, it's clear intelligence isn't just about grades or achievements. It's about how you think and respond. Question yourself, embrace change, and you'll keep growing. I'll be making more videos like this. Subscribe to see them.